What's going on, Jerome's? The Minnesota Vikings have the best wide receiver duo in the National Football League in Justin freaking Jefferson and Jordan Addison when he's not suspended. And, of course, having premium targets is going to be important for first-time starting quarterback J.J. McCarthy. The chemistry with Addison, it's legit. The chemistry with Jefferson will certainly be obvious, but the Vikings may have some wide receiver issues right now. So, Jefferson working back from a minor hamstring strain. Jalen Naylor having drop issues, jammed hand. He may not be ready to start the season. Addison obviously suspended. Lucky Jackson suddenly dropping everything, dropping like it's hot. Rondale Moore on injured reserve. So I don't know. Right. So the Vikings may enter the season with Thayer Thomas, Deshaun Jones, Tim Jones, Miles Price as your wide receiver too. I don't know. Like Ty Felton. Like I honestly would just want someone else to step up. It'd be kind of nice. And obviously the Vikings aren't going to be running a ton of 3 wide receiver the first couple of weeks. A lot of 2 tight ends, a lot of 2 running backs. So Hockenson, Oliver, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason can help take the starch out of some missing wide receivers. But could the Vikings potentially look on the market? Could the Vikings potentially add a free agent? Could they make a move, a small trade to add a wide receiver? Now, like I said, not really advocating for it, but if it's an option, sure. But option number 1 is like someone else steps up and they feel comfortable, but who knows? Anyways, the wide receiver addition outline, can they catch? Can they contribute early? Because this is a unique situation because it's not adding a player that contribute down the line later on. It's they have to contribute right away during the Addison 3-game suspension. They have to be cheap to acquire, even though the Vikings have cap space, even though they have a ton of draft picks in 2026. Ideally, you're not doing anything wild. And also, don't be a douche. Team culture is important. So, yeah. So here are 9 wide receiver options for the Vikings. Number 1, KJ Osborne. So for me, for all the parameters, this is really the obvious one. All right, so he's probably going to be let go by the commies, or he could work out like a late round pick swap, whatever. But KJ, he's only 28. Also, he has 2 years experience with Kevin O'Connell. During those 2 seasons, KJ put up 108 catches, 1,190 yards receiving, 8 touchdowns. And with Washington coming to accord soon with Scary Terry on a contract, KJ seems expendable. And in terms of someone who knows the offense, still tight with Jefferson, won't rock the boat. It can be reliable, especially on third down. And in terms of a plug-and-play option, I think this is the best option, balancing value as well as cost to acquire, because KJ is not going to have a huge contract either. And he played some good football here with the Vikings, left, joined the Patriots last year, eventually ended up in Washington. I think that KJ makes the most sense given the circumstances of a player needing to contribute right away for the Vikings in that regard. Number 2, Brandon Powell, who was at the friggin' preseason game on Saturday, which is kind of hilarious. So, knows the offense. Kevin O'Connell loves them. They go way back like chiropractic back to the Rams. Could be help in the return game as well, even though Miles Price looks pretty good there. Also, he's only 28. So, all that factors in. As long as we don't ask him to push the tush in the tush push. That's all. Yeah. Next up, number 3, Gabe Davis. So, Gabriel Davis, it's kind of weird that he's a free agent and not on a 90-man roster because he's only 26. Last year he signed the big contract in Jacksonville. They punted him immediately with the new regime. But 20 catches, 239 and 2. Had some much better seasons with the Buffalo Bills. Was even team captain, which is wild. But Gabe Davis, he's got size, he's got ability. Although he did not catch that one ball on the sidelines in the Vikings-Bills game from 2023 or 2022. Not that I'm still bitter about anything. Yeah. But he certainly could be an option. Number 4, Tyler Boyd. So for me, like with Tyler Boyd and KJ Osborne, I know they're not the sexiest names in the world, but they could make the most sense because, again, the parameters need to contribute right away. And Tyler Boyd, he's a slot machine, man. Whether it's Cincinnati or Tennessee, where wide receivers go to die. Tyler Boyd, the pride of Pitt, has been able to do a lot of good things. And I feel like just in terms of a veteran, sit down in the middle of the field, get open, and bring in some balls. I think Tyler Boyd could be an option there. Number 5, Amari Cooper. So, this is the fancy name that's been bandied about by everyone. But also, you also look at Amari Cooper when he went to Buffalo last year. Didn't really contribute much. All right, so it's really difficult to just plug and play a receiver into a brand new scheme. So that's why, KJ for me is a more attractive option, because he knows the broad strokes of the offense versus someone just coming in and learning it from scratch. But he's 31, career 711 yards, receiving 10,000 yards, 711 catches, 10,000 yards, 64 touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. But it just feels like his best years are behind him, right? And I know he's a name player. That's why he has cachet, but yeah. Number 6, speaking of name player, so Thielen could contribute, especially in the red zone, short yardage, just working that middle of the field. Already has chemistry with J.J. McCarthy. They've thrown in the offseason. Oh, also, KJ was at some of those sessions. Small details. Yeah. But Thielen, of course, the Minnesota man, Mankato State University Community College. Detroit Lakes go crazy. So the problem is that he does have a guaranteed contract, so he would cost the most to acquire. So unless the Panthers ate most of his contract, which you don't really see, also would likely take a late round pick swap, which sort of whatever at this point. But it would be the storybook ending. Last year, he still proved that he has something left in the tank. 48 catches, 615 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. But frankly, I would be more interested in one of his teammates, Jalen Coker, the pride of Holy Cross. It's sort of like your favorite fantasy football player's favorite player. Something like that. But fantasy dark horse draft crush Jalen Coker, pride of Holy Cross. He was 6'3", last year, 32 catches, 478 and 2. And frankly, he kind of looks better than Xavier Leggett, the pride of South Carolina, but I don't think we're allowed to say that. But Jalen Coker, if they ever part ways with him, or if he's expendable or available, this would be a fun way to, yes, he's learning a brand new offense, but a balance of contributing now versus into the future, because I think Jalen Coker is going to be a damn good player in this league. Similar vein, so Jalen Polk as well as Javon Baker, the Patriots. Now, I know what you're saying. They were literally 2nd and 4th round picks, respectively, last year. The pride of Washington, pride of Central Florida, but they haven't panned out, and it seems like they've been lapped on the depth chart, especially with the rise of Eftim Chisholm III, which is more the speed of New England fans. You know what I mean? Yeah. But obviously it was a different regime. Mayo going to Vrabel now, and I think that they may be in danger of not making the Patriots 53. And also the Vikings did see them both up close and personal in joint practices last week, so you could factor that in. So I don't know. One could be available. Both could be available. Who knows? Lastly, number 9 just became available this morning. DJ Chark. The Chark is coming. Cut by the Falcons today. For pride of LSU, Skol SU, the connection is there. He's only 28, right? It just seems like he's bounced around the league, just hasn't found a home. 2019 Pro Bowler with the Jaguars and all that stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, I think that the best option would be KJ, or would be a guy like Tyler Boyd. So in terms of balancing costs, contributing right away, don't know. All right, so I'd rather just have someone else step up on the roster who's been with the Vikings all offseason, all camp, has gotten some passes from J.J. McCarthy, but who knows? Like, I understand, like, it's always sexy to look at additions of free agency and stuff, but again, in-house, please. No more drops, no more injuries, no more everything. Jefferson 100% for week 1. I'm going to go from there. Yeah. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. 9. 9 wide receiver options for the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.